everyone. Welcome to Calling Out with Susan Pinsky. I'm here today with a really fun group of people that I love and adore. And I am really interested in talking about something called guardian angels or divine intervention really briefly, just because of what happened this week with Donald Trump, President Donald Trump. Just because I have an interest in that, I've also got here with me in studio Colby Rebel. She is an award-winning international celebrity psychic medium, best-selling author, speaker, business coach, and founder of Colby Rebel Spirit Center, as well as the host of acclaimed Colby Rebel Show podcast. She was awarded Best Psychic of Los Angeles in 2022, three-time best-selling author. Colby's books, Leap of Faith, Psychic Senses, and Coffee with Colby. She's been featured on Travel Channel's True Terror, MTV's Teen Mom, and also Us Weekly, ABC, CBC, and Fox. You can find her at Medium Colby Rebel on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And she'd love to have you on her show. She takes calls all the time. So anyways, we're here. Thank you, Colby, for coming in.
Hello.
She's been on the show before. She is also here in studio with my husband, Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew is well known for his MTV Celebrity Rehab, the Ask Dr. Drew podcast, which is a live streaming show.
How she's going to do this,
and which I produce, by the way. Yes. And also, he is known for millions of other things that he's done in his lifetime, and needs no introduction.
But a lot of our life is focused on the show that you produce, which is doing great and been really interesting and such a pleasure to do. Right out of that spot.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and I'm really lucky to have such a great host who can, bring in an audience. So, and we're hoping that everybody that is on our other streaming platforms are watching today. Again, we had a really good turnout last week and kind of shocked me. So, but anyways, I also have another medium, and she's out in the space of Brooklyn somewhere, and she's virtually here with us today. She's going to be tag teaming Dr. Drew and our guest, Cindy Kaza, world-renowned psychic medium and artist, best known for her work on the Travel Channel, The Dead Files, The Holzer Files, my favorite, and Ghost of Devil's Perch. She has made guest appearances on several shows, Discovery Warner, including Fright Club, Portals to Hell, Lost in the Wild, Conjoining Keisha, Scream, The True Story, Jesus, she's been busy. She was on Ghost Brothers, which was my favorite. She trained at England's renowned Arthur Friley College in Findlay. Oh, thank you. In New York, and she travels around the United States providing people with evidence and messages from the other side. Can be found at Medium Cindy Kaza on X, Instagram. She's Cindy Kaza. Website is mediumcindykaza.com. Anyways, if you go to her website, you can find all of her links. And hello, Cindy.
Shit.
Did everybody hear Jay say, "Oh shit"? That's pretty funny.
1 second.
Okay, he didn't know this was coming. But anyway, so I brought her in today because Cindy and Colby have been working together for many years. I've known you guys for a long time.
Yeah, and, it's been a while.
We're gonna have a secret guest that we're bringing in, and
there's Cindy. There's Cindy.
Oh, hi, Cindy. Okay, we got sound too. We have audio. Sorry about that. I was too fast on the draw for Jay. But
Cindy, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too. It's been forever.
It has been.
Hi, Cindy.
You spend too much time in other continents and things.
I know, it's crazy. I don't even know where I am anymore.
Yeah, so she's going to have some special videos for us at the end, near the half of the show. Cindy flies all over the world to do her magic, and we're really lucky to get her here today, and we look forward to a lot more of Cindy. So, all right, so here's the plan. We have a guest, and she's also in New York, as a matter of fact. I guess I'm giving you too much information. She's a friend of ours, and also is kind of a skeptic, so we're going to kind of take a psychic look into her life right now. Stick with anything that comes to mind, in that way. So if we could bring our guest on, that would be great, Jay.
There she is.
Hello.
Hey there.
Hi.
Welcome.
Okay, so
I'm going to sit back. I don't know. I know quite why I'm here because she can handle herself, but I'm going to sit back and watch Colby do her thing.
Okay, before we get started, though, can we do a little round robin of your interpretation? I know that you wanted to be in this conversation too, Nikki, just so you could listen and be present. I woke up in the morning. I was having my coffee, and it just came to me like a weird thing. It just came in my head. It was divine intervention, and it's weird because I wasn't thinking anything. It just popped into my head, and I went, you know what? And so I texted it to everybody, and then I was like, you guys didn't respond, of course, because it was like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I apologize because I wake up like 5 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, and I started thinking, I'm not. You guys aren't clergies, or you're not, wearing, men of cloth or women of cloth, but you do have a spiritual side that is something that I've noticed over the years that is very aware of how things are very coincidental, or there is divine intervention for certain reasons, and maybe past life stuff that allows you to get through something really terrifying. So anyways, I'm going to throw it to Colby because
Are you talking about President Trump's near assassination?
Yes,
was that some sort of something?
Yeah, divine intervention, right? Meaning, why wasn't it more successful, maybe, in a way, right?
Right.
Well, yeah, a lot of us, right, I'm sure many of the listeners can also validate that they've had an experience of a near fatal car accident, near death experience, or something where something kind of horrific was supposed to happen, and then something at the last minute, changed the direction or changed the path. So, yeah, a lot of times we believe.
Happened to me about 20 minutes ago.
Oh, no, what happened?
I was dropping a car off for Susan, and somebody ran a red light as I was turning left.
Right.
And I thought, in a rental car, and I thought, oh, and I had to get back for this. And I'm like, oh, this would be a mess.
Yeah.
This would be a true mess.
But so a lot of times what we believe is that you could have your loved ones on the other side, kind of stepping in, protecting. We could have some guides in general that are around us and protecting, but there is something of another force. There is something beyond our physical presence that creates that detour, that deviation. So a lot of times what they say, though, say sometimes, like in the morning, like how many times, like someone will say, oh my gosh, my car didn't start and I thought it was going to start, and then I had to get triple. So they come, I was late, almost missed the plane, and then the plane is in an accident.
This happened to Seth MacFarlane. Seth MacFarlane was supposed to get on the Boston 9/11 flight, and was late and missed his flight.
Yeah,
but I feel like when those things happen, whatever the source, they do teach, they do change you. Don't they change, everything changes direction with those things.
Without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. And it's it's unfortunate too, because I also want to clarify, because for any victims of any tragedy, then they want to say, well, why didn't my loved one have divine intervention? Like, what's wrong? But sometimes too, it has to do with, is your time here done or not? Did you finish the homework that you are assigned to do in your living experience? If you haven't finished the homework, you're staying. If you have finished and you've graduated, you are transcending and moving beyond. So I think that does have a lot to do with it, for
clearly
sure.
I was meant to be on this show because nothing happened before.
Yes.
But I'm a fan of the guests that you have sitting waiting.
Oh,
I
good.
want to see what
Can we bring Cindy on too a
Oh.
little bit to talk to Colby about that, and maybe you two on the shot? That'd be great. Will give us a second.
We're going to get Cindy in here. There she is.
There she is.
Am I here? I can't see myself. Can
Well,
you
hold
see
on
me?
a second.
There we go.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with what Colby said. I'll just share a personal story, if that's okay, since we've been talking about cars. I had a major car accident
right.
in 2020, and 2 days before the car accident, I was like, I need a new Jeep. And mind you, I've been driving a Jeep Wrangler for about 3 years. It only had like 17,000 miles on it. And so there was really no reason for me to get a new Jeep, but the intuition was so strong. I went and got a new one. I got a hard top instead of a soft top. The next day, 2 days later, it was the next day after I drove it off the lot, I was rear-ended by somebody going 65 miles an hour and smashed into me on the highway.
Ugh.
And
Wow.
when I get out of the car, I walked away. The police officer is like, can I see your temporary insurance? And I handed it to her, and the expiration date was January 4th, my late mother's birthday.
Oh.
Which is interesting. And then just in May of this year, I was in Northern California working, and the owner of the club that I work at, we're friends, and she's like, why don't you save some money and borrow my Jeep while you're in town? I was like, great, I'll borrow your Jeep. So she drives a Jeep Wrangler. I'm on my way to work. A man passes out behind the wheel, comes into oncoming traffic, and hits me in a head-on collision.
Ugh.
In another Jeep Wrangler.
Weird.
And so I'm driving Jeeps for the rest of my life, But the point is like, what are the chances in the one time, and I've been working at this 10 years, the one time she's like, borrow my Jeep, I borrow it in this house. So it's like, I really can't, understand these experiences in any of some sort of divine intervention, right? And I believe, that the spirit world, they're watching out for us, our loved ones, and all the other things over there. So yeah, but yeah, I totally agree with everything Colby said. And I just want to mention in the Trump assassination attempt, he literally, he turned his head very briefly, and had he not done that, we would have been in a whole different situation. So it's just, look, it's yeah.
It's something.
There's a lot going on.
So
in the spirit world.
what Colby was saying is that your life plan is not over, right?
Trump's is not over yet.
Yeah. So
not last Saturday.
yeah, and I would say that whatever his higher power is, or whatever his guardian angels or his divine power was sort of giving him a chance to really do what he wants to do, which also brought a lot to our thoughts and our minds. Was, wow, that was so close. That could have been really bad. And we always joke about, oh God, somebody needs to get rid of him or whatever. But we have to really look at this as it would have been a lost opportunity for at least 50% of this country is very proud of him and want him to be president. But as a human being, I just think that, yes, he does have unfinished business, and it is time for him to do whatever he wants to do with that. And I don't know, I found it to just be shocking.
Well, I have this weird, it's been with me, so I'll just say it, and then I'd love to, if Cindy's open to tuning into, but I keep having this weird feeling that there's something else, either another attempt, and I don't know if it's on him or Biden. Like, I don't know if there's like, okay, well, you know what? You went after our person, we're going to go after, it just feels like something is unfinished. And I'm really hoping that's not accurate. but it's interesting. So,
Cindy?
Well, I do my yearly predictions, and I only send them to you and Susan, so you have them. You're the only two people I send them to. But I think that we're at the beginning of a lot of chaos, and my readings scare me, so I don't even want to talk about my readings.
Yeah, she does amazing automatic writing, or she'll just sit down and write a bunch of stuff. And she gave us one at the beginning of the pandemic, which was spot on. Then she did another one about 2 years later, because we were like, oh my gosh, that was so good, do it again.
Yeah.
And then she did have
Then she did it again.
was there a prediction there about an assassination? Do you remember?
Let me go back and read it, because there was a lot of Cindy going, I really hope this isn't true, and I don't know what this means, and I hope this isn't so.
We say that a lot. You know, I really hope this one's wrong.
There were so many things that were spot on that just sounded so bizarre at the beginning of the pandemic. We were like, what?
No, she was really wildly accurate about that.
Yeah, so anyways, I do find it really interesting.
And by the way, it was again a lot of her going, I don't know what this means, I don't know what I'm talking about. Then you look back and you go, oh. Well, now I know what she's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, and so I just wanted to start this off because I just had this morning vision. It was divine intervention, and we need to talk about it because I think we've talked about stuff like this on the show before. But having our eyes all open to an actual event of it was good for all of us. I think we all need to look at life more seriously and be more careful and maybe get some security. Okay, better security for RFK Jr., for Donald Trump,
RFK,
for Biden.
got
Everybody,
it. You got it.
Can human error? We have no time for this. We need to get a president in office that can run this country and bring us back to life here. So, so anyways, that's my opener. Nikki, do you have any insight? Because I know that you're not American born, and I'm just going to put it out there.
What are you doing? I thought we were giving her a reading. Anything else you want to share about her?
Let Colby add her.
Well, I thought that it was crazy that he even got shot at all. And if that happened to be where his brains were to be blown out, I think we don't realize how big of a news this actually is. I know the whole world is talking about it, but if his brains were on the floor, the whole world would go crazy, and I think it would be a civil war.
Me too.
Really do mean that.
Good. See, I'm glad I told her that. I asked her that. She's not a psychic medium. You guys know nothing else about her. I'm sorry I brought that up, but I think the whole world would be crying. And because it's not a good thing. It's as much as everybody says, "Oh, I hate Trump."
I feel like
so
the very minimum, the miss was a shock that woke everybody up from something. Everybody was in a slumber of some type, and came kind of awake as a result. It seemed like to me.
Yeah.
Whether it's the news being not so accurate, or people needing security, or maybe we should get really serious about unity, which I think is what's happening. I think, but who knows? Anyway, I want to see what Colby does with Nikki.
Maybe we can also have some mental health help for people.
But it's always. But yes, that goes without saying. Okay. I want to know.
So am I tuning in to Nikki first?
Yeah, so we're going to now that everybody's voices have been heard, and we're just sort of like spinning around the room with our thoughts, I'm going to let Colby take the guest first and see where she goes with this.
Okay, well, hi, Nikki. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Fellow blonde.
Yeah, right? So a couple of things. So I don't know you, Nikki. So some of this may sound obvious to you in your life and what you do, but let's play a little bit if you're open to it, shall we? Okay. So the first thing that kind of comes in is like it feels like there's so many levels and layers to you, like so much deeper than what most people, I think, give you credit for. So I think you might be known for one thing, and then there's all these other multi-layers underneath. So, and I also feel like you are kind of running the show. So that's kind of interesting. It's like I feel like you are running the show. You're the one with the crown on, and you're the one that is like, people need to start answering to you, right? And so I feel like there's a lot going on with you where it's interesting. I don't feel any fear with you of taking the lead, taking control. What I do feel like is there's been a little bit of pushback. So I'm not exactly sure what you do, but I feel like you're dealing with some resistance, and I feel like it's up to you to kind of go, you know what, I'm not playing this game with you, right? So I get that as well. And it's interesting because I really do feel like we have two careers. So you might, be maybe known in one career, and it's like this other career is now unfolding, or this other opening is unfolding for you. So does that resonate at all? Anything that I've said kind of so far with things?
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that because I have been talking to myself for the last couple of days where I'm like, I have to get my manifestation in order for my life to happen. And I'm going to start listening to only what I have to say, even if it comes off as a narcissist. I'm not going to say no to myself, resistance, anymore. So, I mean, I do resonate a little bit. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm ready to switch lanes in life.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm seeing is like this whole other lane opening up, and it just feels like you are going full throttle with it. It really feels like I see it being unbelievably successful. I feel like you literally end up building an empire from this. So, you know, there's a lot around it, you know. The other weird thing, because I said crown, empire, there's all this kind of weird, I don't know.
Well, I always wanted to be a princess.
Yeah, well,
I'm transgender, so I would always use the name princess.
Oh, I love it.
So I resonate to the crown.
Okay, so I love it because what I feel like is, you know, what's interesting is I think for you, what I feel like is happening is, you know, it's beautiful because I think that maybe you've become known as a voice or a person but I feel like you're literally blurring the lines now. So I feel like I just see people really taking you for you, right? And so you may always be an advocate or a supporter and everything that may still be there, but it's almost like I feel like you become so unbelievably successful that any orientation or identity is kind of removed from the situation. Like, and so that to me is so powerful. Like, I feel like you have an ability to reach everybody, which is really amazing and important, right? But the other thing, this is just so weird and random. Do you do any modeling or acting or anything like that also, Nikki, by chance?
No.
Because I feel like what's coming in for you is literally being in front of the camera. It feels like you're going to be in front of the camera. You're going to be this like goddess. Like it just shows like, and it's, you know, it's just.
Really?
So, which part, in front of the camera or goddess?
Well, the goddess, to be honest. Yes.
Because it feels like it's owning that sensuality, owning that femininity with the power underneath, right? It's like the feminine divine is really stepping out for you, okay? The other thing too I want to go into is love life, okay? So because I feel like love life is like coming in, like I feel like it's springing in, and I feel like you're just like, yeah, I mean, it's really good for you. I want to just encourage you to like let go with it a little bit more, because I think you may be a little, I don't know if it's controlling or like safeguarding your heart, you know, but I feel like a real protectiveness around it. But I just see this unbelievable love, like love of your life, marriage, partnership, like it really feels like it's coming in. And I just feel like for you, it's like, it's not something you need, but it is something that I think just really brings an element of fulfillment that you didn't even think about before. Like it just gives me this sense of like, oh, okay, like this is nice. Okay.
In my life, I fell in love twice, and I never thought that I would be able to fall in love a second time after my first big love. And so when I did, just the fact that my brain could fall in love again made me think a lot more with my heart in everyday scenarios.
Yeah, and I get this sense that it is so fulfilling. Like I just feel like it's deeper than anything you're just kind of, it's interesting. You continuously challenge yourself. You know, you continuously say, what's my next level self? What's my next kind of step here? And again, I think your voice is going to be so important. Your voice is literally like in front of a microphone. It is literally in front of like talking to people, changing law, changing viewpoints. So I think that's like super interesting. And also, I'm just curious, do you do any sort of artistic work as well? Can I ask? Is there any like art or artistic or anything like that with you?
I've always been very artsy. Like when I went to school, I went to art school, but I think my real love for art is probably making music with my voice. So I don't know if that's my voice, but I don't know. Yeah,
it feels that I want to encourage you to do that. Keep diving into that, really immersing yourself and like letting the ideas flow, letting it out, because again, you're transcending, I think, barriers with your voice, with your music, with it really kind of emulating out to people. So that's what I'm getting so far.
All right. Well, let's move on to Cindy, who's in the Zoom room. Oop, wrong person. Whoops.
I didn't see.
Cindy.
There she is.
Changed her hairstyle while we weren't looking.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know do I go now? There's a little bit of a delay. So.
Yeah, so...
it's you.
Yeah, so...
It's Cindy. Here we go.
Okay, yeah, it's interesting because Colby kind of touched on it. She said changing law, but when I was sitting back here, I was like, oh, I see politics. I feel like there's going to be like having conversations in front of large groups of people that can change law. I feel like there's going to be like trying to create new bills to create safe places for transgendered teens and kids.
Yeah.
Can I say one thing? Because when I was in school, I told everyone I'm going to be a politician. It's over. And I told everyone, and they look at me as crazy. And then I moved on from that to doing porn. So I guess maybe now that's crushed. But that was my initial plan.
Interesting, because I was like, oh, I see changing law, politics. So maybe it's picking up on your past. And actually, I mean, look, you can still do stuff like that today. You can still like be an advocate.
That's what
for
real liberals
people.
should say. I agree.
Yeah, it's true. But it's interesting. Do you come from Germany? I mean, I could hear your accent, but I was like trying to figure out where it was from because I wanted to speak to you in German for a second.
Oh, I'm from Norway.
Norway, okay. But I could hear the accent. But anyway,
don't you speak German?
She might speak German. She speaks a bunch of languages.
Nikki und ich habe eine große Schwanz.
Yeah, she speaks German.
Yeah. Du hast eine große Wunsch? Okay.
I don't know. That's the only sentence I know. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Are we just doing psychic or can we do mediumship too?
It's up to Nikki, really.
We can delve into the mediumship.
Okay.
Okay,
Open the door.
I just want to just go with what I was feeling because I felt this man standing next to me and he felt connected to your father and he felt like he had passed like some time ago or that he was really here to say that he wanted your father to understand that he even in spirit had been around because I feel like they would have been disconnected or for a time and then do you understand that?
My grandfather passed away about 2 weeks ago, and it's too recent for me to dwell into my feelings about it, so I'm probably going to skip that. But it is true, and if he is there, it's too recent for me to go into that because my door is not ready, if that makes sense.
Fair enough. Okay. I won't keep going into anything more other than that he's sorry he didn't show up enough. That's the feeling that I got. It wasn't around enough. Okay. Oh God. Okay. I'm like, please step aside because he's really bossy and pushy. But do you know where I would go into when you were around 10 or 11 years old? Because I keep going back to that period of time in your life where there would have been a wanting to I don't know if runaway is the right word, or I want to break free, or I want to be in a different home, because I keep seeing escape or get away. And then I'm surrounded
It's interesting
by...
you mentioned that. I would say around when I was 13, I literally wanted to be in a different country. I knew that I needed to explore, also because I am in a small country, Norway. You don't open the door to the world being in small country Norway. So I realized probably very early on that I had to do something different here. And I didn't, but I happened to marry Jim, and then now I'm in the States, I guess. But, you know, it unfolded. I don't know. Yes, but I did feel that.
Mm-hmm. And then when I go into like, because I keep seeing these journals, and not just, this sounds kind of corny, like people journal, people write books, but I keep seeing all of these creative stories, or wanting to write poetry or story creation. And I know you like music, but there should be a connection to writing as well, as a way to express feeling when you were younger. And like, I see this notebook, I see words, I see like pictures. I feel like that's a way to escape or go into the imagination.
Yes, I would say that's right. Everything I did was very arts and craftsy, especially being a teenager, whether I would rhyme or paint or draw or whatever, do my makeup. And then I did all of that and I got really good at it. And then I just was like, whatever, I don't know.
But this is more specific of like of writing. Okay, so when you were younger, did you keep like books of your? It's either writing, poetry, lyrics. There's something I'm seeing with actual like books that I'm seeing. It's not just
I kept layers of old drawings, like many papers of old drawings, and writing probably not. Maybe it's gone. I don't know.
But drawing. So you hacked them in books, stuff like that. Okay. Because like there's a part where you could reincorporate drawing and writing and things like that, and getting something there as a way of retelling. I keep honestly seeing you being impactful for transgendered people by telling stories. So there has to be some book, there has to be some connection there coming out.
I drew a lot. So, and I did keep diaries. Yes.
But in the future, are you hoping to write a book about your story to get it out for the future?
Yes.
Generation? Yes.
Yes.
That's coming, and it feels like it'll be really good for your career. It's going to be something that's going to open people up to your world, and it's going to be really positive.
That's nice.
I would love that. I'm 27 and I'm ready for a self-biography.
Hey, we have a little
serious, right?
We have a little interruption here. We want to get you guys in on. So we've been having these weird sound issues for the last 2 days. I don't know what it is, but Colby's like, something's happening with the audio. It's coming in, but it's like in the studio.
You can hear it.
Glitchy here. It's just here
when
though.
Cindy's talking. Yeah, when she's
What
talking.
is that, Colby?
I think
who is that?
What is that, Jay? Not Colby.
No, we've been having these problems. I swear, only on right before my show, whenever I like talk to Cindy on the phone, we have like electronic problems.
Well, just to Cindy's point, Nikki, like, so one of the things that kind of came in to something Cindy said, and then something came in. And then you said autobiography, which I thought was interesting. But I just heard very clearly you have to reveal some secrets. So, I think the more you can peel back those layers and reveal these secrets, because I feel like they're pretty deep and dark, and you're pretty, but I feel like it's like literally you have to expose, and that's what kind of frees everything.
And that's where it was coming in, I think, was seeing the journals from the past, like all of the books and the writing, because it's going to go into the childhood and the things that happened in the past. And the other thing that I'm sensing, connection to being around a lot of drinking, or there's got to be
in Norway?
alcohol
No way.
Nah.
Well, of course. And
Well, Dr. Drew, there has been a little drinking and smoking.
What, in Norway? It's like,
Yes.
what do you
They
guys
all
say?
get drunk.
Skull? What's your?
School. Yes, they all get drunk in Norway. So, I mean, my father did a lot of heavy drugs throughout my childhood. So, but we reconnected greatly when I was about 16. And a question for you psychics, because I find this to be very interesting. My great-grandmother died 28th of June. And then my cousin was born 28th of June the year after. And then I was born 28th of June the year after that. And now my grandfather died 27, the day before. He just couldn't make the portal of June. Isn't that crazy?
That's so
something.
crazy. Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
I think so. I think that was a portal that he couldn't make, but he tried.
Well, that's because he's a man.
Yes, I think so.
The women got there.
Yes.
Oh gosh. Well, that's synchronicity for sure
Yeah.
at its finest. So yeah. So Drew, what do you think?
Is there a tattoo on her back? Nikki, do you have a tattoo on your back?
No tattoos.
Am I tuning into Cindy? Cindy, do
Cindy.
you have a tattoo on your back?
Well, I mean, I got it lasered off. I have a tattoo on my back.
Congratulations.
I remember that.
Good. Okay.
So, are you?
We're ready.
Drew, I wanted to tell you, I have a tattoo on my back.
Oh,
Yeah.
how did I
No,
miss
you
it?
don't.
Your
Can I
eyesight's
add
so
one
bad
thing?
you didn't
Can
notice.
I add one thing to this reading? Can I just have
Yeah.
it up?
That's why you're here.
I just feel like if when we're talking about past lives and things like that, I don't know, or if you believe in those things, but like I feel like you came in this lifetime to be like a disruptor, or to change the patterns, to and this isn't the family lineage. It's like to being a disruptor, right? So it's a good way. It's a beautiful thing where people have to shift their perspective, shift everything, and really show up differently. And so that's like the purpose when you come into your family unit. We all have a role that we're playing, and it's like you had a big job this lifetime coming in.
Yeah.
And good for you for being yourself and allowing people to have, especially in your family, really you're a mirror to them, where they have to look at themselves and really reflect, and that's not an easy way to step in, but you did it.
So can I?
My worst nightmare is to be reborn in the life after and be broken, horribly abused. It's my worst nightmare. So I hope that's not going to happen.
Drew.
I'm dying to jump in because this is really very,
All right,
very
let's do it.
interesting. All right. So Nikki is one of the most interesting people I know. She is married to a very accomplished, famous, brilliant comedian, and they're a couple. I helped them out a little bit when there was some issues with immigration and stuff, and I was and it was the when Nikki, when you first called me, I was like, okay, because people call me like, really, it's nothing, and then when I get into it, it's like it's not nothing, but in Nikki's case, it was really nothing, and I was like shocked and happy to help out because it's rare that you get to do that. And we've got to meet her since, and I'm a fan of her husband and have been for a long time. And she started turning up on his Instagram, and I immediately went, holy shit, she's funnier than he is. and I've told her that a million times, and I mean it. And so when you guys started talking about her doing stuff, I thought, oh yeah, for sure. And then, and all I hear Jim, speaking of the princess and the control stuff, all I hear Jim talk about on those dual Instagrams is how pissed he is at being, how uncontrolling she is, and how demanding she is, which I think is, and they make good fun of it. It's great and it's hysterical. They are great together.
Yeah.
But when you guys talk about her doing something in politics, that kind of stuff, yeah, we could use her.
Yeah.
We really could. And I got some ideas. Hope you're ready for them. But so it's just so, I was really looking forward to it because it's very, very interesting. And
Drew
there
booked you, by the way.
well, in book, I said you should get Nikki in
like,
here.
oh, yeah, get
Get
Nikki. I
Nikki,
said,
because I
great
knew it'd be
idea.
interesting, because I know there's layers to you, as Colby pointed out in the first place. And I thought, and we only sort of know some of them, Susan and I. And so, again, it's a privilege to know you, and this is really interesting to hear all this. And I look
Absolutely.
forward to the
So much
biography.
talking to you, and I still thank you every day for writing that letter, because I genuinely believe that if that letter was missing, there could be a chance that I would never get into the States, which is crazy, right?
Crazy.
I mean, I'm probably from the from the easiest country to get in to the United States. From Norway, it was a nightmare.
It was ridiculous.
$100 we'd charge. So
it was
so
ridiculous. It was a ridiculous thing.
Wow.
And
we're talking 5 years here of my life, which now it's given me more trauma now than it did in the past, because now it's like, I know I'm here and I know it's great. But 5 years, man, it's a long.
Well, but you know what, Nikki? The one thing I have learned about you is you have like clarity in your thinking when you have assessed a topic, and so maybe you'll have something to say about that process or immigration. I don't know, but you certainly when transgender stuff comes up, you have great clarity about it, and it helps me. I go to you to help me understand these topics, and so the 5 years may have been well spent. No?
Yeah.
Colby?
Oh, no. I mean, listen, and Cindy, I know is going to validate this. All of our experiences throughout our life are literally preparing us for the soul life purpose we're meant to live. So, I know that stinks, and the past stinks, and the trauma stinks, and all the yuck stinks, but it all is leading you to your divine purpose. And like Cindy said, you're here to hold up that mirror, so you better hold it real high.
Yeah, hold it high.
Thank you. It's I'm just happy to be in the situation where I am, where my husband loves me and life is great. So I'm just grateful, really. And I also believe that if I got in easily, maybe me and Jim wouldn't be together anymore, because now we have something to work for.
No, you're right. He was really fighting for you. I mean, he was one that called me, and
She's gonna have a baby. That's what's really exciting.
Okay.
I really want a baby.
Good.
You're gonna have one. So we're
I know.
We can talk about how that's done.
Well,
that's kind of
know
an
how
issue.
that's
That's crazy
done,
you
but-
say that, because I really need that baby.
Well,
Okay.
you're gonna have it.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, that's good news. She calls out babies all the time.
I think your
trust
husband's
me.
going to kill me.
No.
He might kill me.
Definitely doesn't want to adopt, but I want to adopt. I'm ready to be a mom.
I can tell. I can tell. Well, thank you for doing this. We really appreciate it. I'm going to tell everybody who's a little bit more about Nikki, and she's a podcast host. She co-hosts with her husband, Jim Norton, Sword Fight. Pretty funny name.
It's fantastic, right?
If you can
That's
get that.
actually
great.
Okay. You can listen to Sword Fight on Podcast One, YouTube. Beyond her work in podcasting, she's a passionate advocate for LGBTQ plus rights, establishing herself as a formidable and independent voice in the community. And you can find her at MSN Miss Nikki, MS, Nikki Norton, or you can find her at Nikki and Jim NYC on YouTube.
Wait, what's the one? I think, and also you're still showing up on Jim's feed too, right, Nikki?
Yes, sometimes I show up on his feed. I'm going to
We
do it a
all-
lot more now.
We all share.
When you do, I fall out of my chair laughing.
Yeah,
so,
you're funny.
So people should check you out there
Full
too.
Control.
Yeah.
Well, oh no, I get oh my God, look what Nikki's doing. Oh my God, look what Nikki's doing. It's Nikki. It's Nikki. It's Nikki. I'm like, good for her.
makes
So
me
anyways,
so
and I want to be your friend. We're going to hang out, and we'll
see you
we'll
this
get you to
weekend.
the next level.
See, we're gonna according to Jim,
love
we
you
jumped in.
guys.
Yeah.
And thanks for doing this. I know it's always a little scary, but we bring light and love on this show, and we're trying to help everybody.
I've always been skeptical, but I've had people in my family who have said they are psychics. So I'm definitely open, but also skeptical. And it's different when it's coming from someone else.
Is it when they're
It's not
heavily
your family.
drinking, or is it?
Oh, my great grandmother had hair down to the floor, long white hair. My
Wow.
great grandmother was burned on the fire. There's a lot of stuff here in the northern
Oh,
world.
you got to include that in that biography.
Yes.
It's a family of gnomes that lived in the woods.
I bet you,
That's
Nikki.
basically what it was. Picking potatoes.
I bet you, I almost feel, because that kind of the idea I have of the tattoo on the back, I almost feel like I I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere along the history line, like, had been kind of branded or burned on the back, or, because it's, and it just passes down. Like, there's this mark. I know that sounds so weird. That's weird. That's a little woo-woo, which is not my thing.
I could see that. My whole family comes from the deep woods, so that could be possible, I'm sure.
Oh my God, you are a bunch of gnomes living in the Norwegian woods. It's like Hansel and Gretel come to life. So get Cindy's last words too, Susan? Yeah.
Cindy, hello.
Hello.
She's gonna stay on with us, and you can give your last.
I thought we were all staying on. It's a party.
Yeah, it is a party. It is a party today.
No, but yeah, no. I mean, look, like I said in the reading, I just really feel like you have a really big purpose in this lifetime. You can help a lot of people by using your voice and by really speaking up and advocating. For people of all walks of life, but especially the younger generation, I feel too, because I feel like I know you were like, oh, well, I'm a porn star. It doesn't matter. You're a person who has a story to tell. You have a kind heart, been through a lot, and you will have 2 babies. I think 2. I see 2. There's definitely going to be 1, and I feel like there's going to be 2, and you have a big full life ahead of you.
Oh, how fun!
So big full life ahead of you, and your dreams, and write down your dreams.
I have to say, I'm going to be thinking about this all day.
I bet.
I'll take life into another light, and I'll do it all. 2 babies.
There you go.
Okay.
We'll talk about the babies on Saturday.
Yeah.
Jim's going to go crazy.
He's going to kill me. He's going to kill me.
I know. And then kill himself.
I'm sorry, Jim. Okay, well, we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to come back and talk to some callers. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. Reese. Anyways, I'm going to do some plugs here for the people that support the show. On the Ask Dr. Drew show, my husband talked about GLP-1. GLP-1 is the hormone that lets you know you are full. It coordinates digestion and the signals between your brain and your gut. So if you're trying to lose weight, here's a tip. Highly processed foods make you more hungry because they are digested really fast. But whole foods like Paleo Valley's grass-fed meat products and gelatin have been known to help you cut back. Like these. Bone broth and beef sticks. Autumn Smith, the CEO, says she uses bone broth in the waning hours of intermittent fasting. I am intermittent faster as well and do it all the time. Autumn at Paleo Valley says it's okay to do that because it helps her not overeat when she sits down for a meal. Works for me too. Paleo Valley's grass-fed finished bone broth in chocolate, vanilla, and flavored for soups and smoothies help you eat less. So do the meat sticks. I keep in my purse for a quick snack, and get yours today at drdrew.com, Paleo Valley, for 15% off your first order, or subscribe for 20% off today. Love this stuff. Thank you for listening. Also, my other favorite Dr. Drew sponsored item is for joint and muscle pains. They're exhausting. I found a new over-the-counter product that provides fast relief for the power of it, wait for it, chili peppers. Capsidin's made with a proprietary formulation that contains no NSAIDs, opioids, anesthetics, steroids, which means there is 0 chance for addiction. Drew likes that, and it won't interact with other drugs you're taking. So Capsidin contains capsaicin, which is the substance in chili peppers that burns your tongue. Drew has recommended this to his patients for years, and other ones can burn your skin. But Capsidin is unique in the clinical trials. It has actually been demonstrated not to burn. And I know that because I rub it on my hands every day because I have carpal tunnel, and I rub it on my knees because my knees are really fucked up. Anyway, so I highly recommend it. It doesn't burn. And if you want to get your hands on some, go to capsidin.com/Drew. That's CAPSADYN.com/Drew. And you'll really get a good discount over there. Check it out. Anyway, so we're back. We're going to bring Cindy back on. Cindy's in the hizzy.
Hello.
There she is. Okay, so I think we're going to start off with should we do a psychic reading or should we go to Indonesia?
Oh, go to Indonesia.
Let's go to Indonesia. Oh, we lost Cindy's sound.
She's talking.
Okay, you there, Cindy? We have to talk again.
Can you hear me?
Okay, we can hear you now. So Cindy is a world traveler. She spends a lot of time in Indonesia. She has been in a place that she's going to explain this year that was highly interesting. I got this funny text and she goes, oh, check this picture out. And I was like, what the heck is that? So why don't you explain a little bit about the video that we're about to see?
Are you going to play the video first or am I going to explain the video?
You can explain the video first.
Okay. Okay. So I was in Toraja, Indonesia. This was actually towards the end of last year. And Toraja had been on my bucket list for about 10 years. So the Toraja people live on the island of Sulawesi. And really, they're known for their, I guess, what we would call taboo death practices, death rituals. You know, a lot of people have seen videos of the Toraja people because they keep the dead bodies of their loved ones in the homes with them until they can afford to have a funeral. So you can go into a home and you'll see you know, somebody's grandmother that's been dead for 10 years in the coffin, and then they're bringing her food and water and talking to her as if she were still alive. And that's because the Toraja people don't believe that somebody has actually died until the funeral happens. And these funerals are very elaborate. They're very expensive. At minimum, they're around 50,000 US dollars. That's on the minimum. And so a lot of people can't afford to have a funeral, and they have to save their whole lives to pay for these funerals, right? So the other thing that I experienced when I was there was, well, I got to go to a funeral, and at the funeral, it was a 5-day funeral, and it was a mother and a son who were being buried at the same time because that's more cost effective for the family. The mother had passed away 2 years prior to the ceremony, and her son had passed away, I think it was about 4 months before the funeral took place. And in preparation for this funeral, the family constructed a mausoleum. Now, this is going to be a bit of a tangent, but I think it's an important note, is that the Toraja people, you know, used to practice a form of animism. And then when Indonesia was colonized by the Dutch, the Toraja people, a lot of them adopted Christianity because it was actually a way to it was safety as well, you know, because they were surrounded by, also, you know, there was the Islamic people coming in and trying to take over the indigenous tribes. And then so the Dutch provided some safety, and then they converted to Christianity. So most Toraja people now are Christian, but the church has allowed them to continue to practice these unique funeral ceremonies. And, you know, it's also a way to preserve culture. And so when I say coffin, right, because they're still Christian, so they have a coffin with a cross on it, but they're still carrying out these traditions of exhuming. So what happened is the family constructed a mausoleum, and then behind the mausoleum was the family plot where I think it was 14 family members had been buried. So family dug up all of the members that were in the plot, took them out of the coffins they'd been buried them in, and then dusted them off and put them in new coffins. So I think the picture you're going to see is a woman who was the sister of the mother who had died. She had died 17 years prior. They took her out of the coffin, they dusted her off, put new clothes on her, put sunglasses on her, gave her a drink. They gave her alcohol and put it in her hand.
Thank God.
And so I asked them, I said, wow, she's
give
really
me a glass of wine.
yeah. So I said, well, why is she so well preserved? Because a lot of the other, bodies that I was seeing. Some of them were just bones, and they were like just dusting off bones and putting them in new coffins.
Yeah.
But she was well preserved, and they said, well, that's because she was an alcoholic.
Them's my
She
people.
drank so much alcohol that she was like pickled, right? Like she's preserved.
I got you.
Yeah. But you
See,
know,
I'll
I'm really
look good in the
fascinated-
afterlife too if they preserve. They can
So-
just perch me up in the corner.
Sydney, you're going to be nothing but a bone because I know you don't even drink
I
anything.
know.
You're going to be like one
I
little
know, 21
Scooby
years of
snack
no
in there.
alcohol for me.
Cindy's going to be a Scooby snack.
Oh my
But I
gosh,
just
that's so
wanna
crazy.
add Oh, sorry. Sorry for the delay. It's a little bit of a delay, but I just
problem.
wanted to add that the reason that I'm so interested in exploring different cultures and religions, and especially the Taraja people, is because I want to understand how they claim to experience the afterlife. And what was really fascinating to me is when I went to visit a family who kept the body of their loved one in the house, I asked them if they had any paranormal experiences in the home. Like, did they feel like their loved one was still around? And what you'll hear from a lot of the Taraja people is that they'll have dreams of their loved ones. And in these dreams, their loved ones will tell them what they want to eat or drink. So, for example, grandma's dead. She's been dead 2 years. She's in the house, in the coffin. The grandson is having a dream, and in the dream, grandma's like, bring me a cup of tea and bring me some cookies. And then the grandson wakes up and is like, oh, grandma wants tea and cookies, and he'll bring those to her.
Oh God. Okay, this is what I wish Drew didn't leave the room. I want to hear his psychological take on this kind of behavior. But Colby, what do you think? Let's show everybody.
Let's see the video.
Yeah, we want to show the Taraja people.
Yeah, so this is where they're dusting her off. She's been dead 17 years. And they're really, really meticulous. Like, they're very careful. They take care of the bones. They're really, like, mindful of that. And then everybody stands next to her and takes pictures with her. It's like everyone has their cell phones out and they're taking selfies with a corpse.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. I'm looking at the comments. Prop me up besides the jukebox when I die, your daddy. Okay, well, that was quite an adventure. You have very interesting ideas of good fun, Cindy. I'm really really.
But no, I mean, it's interesting because I truly believe as a psychic medium, every medium will experience the spirit world.
Yeah.
Based on how they've grown up and what society has told them. So if you've been socialized to say that angels exist, then you'll probably experience angels. If you've been socialized to experience something else, then that will be your experience. And two mediums can be from two completely different cultures and religions. They can experience the same frequency and call it something completely different. And that interests me.
And I think what you're saying also that's really important is that we all have our own way of looking at our idea of God or what we see. And being a medium is a special thing, But did you ever have like any of these spirits come through to you when you're with these people? But you don't speak. Do you speak the language, or did they speak English, or?
Well, you don't need to speak the language.
Well, there's no language barrier. Yeah,
Oh,
there's no language barrier. So when I was at the mausoleum, when they were digging up the all of the coffins that had been previously buried, I saw this woman walking towards me holding the hand of like a 4-year-old boy, and I said to the woman who had invited us to the funeral, I said, I see this woman, a mother, walking towards me with her son, who like to be about 4 years old. And the woman said, that's right. There's a mother and a son buried back there. And the son died when he was about 4 years old, between like 4 and 5. So I could see that happen, see them walking towards me. Yeah, I mean, and I think too, the other thing about, doing mediumship internationally and exploring, all of these different belief systems is I'm always mindful of how I present that information, because you might encounter people who think that if you're seeing a spirit, you're actually seeing a demon. And then you have to, decide, am I going to tell this person it's a spirit? Because then they might think there's a demon around them,
Colby.
Yeah.
So how do you feel? What do you think about this? Like, you're kind of looking around the room. She has this way of, like, all of a sudden she'll hear something and
I think it's amazing. I mean, I think too, as a medium, personally, I mean, I don't know how Cindy feels, but I feel like it's our responsibility. Like, we're leaning in with no judgment. Like, you can't have judgment doing this. You have to lean in, and you're connecting to the spirit realm. And I think, I don't know, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, it's unfortunate that it's so expensive, but I guess they're trying to show the preciousness of it.
Right.
But how beautiful. I mean, listen, if you want to dust me off and take pictures with me, more power to you.
Looks like we're going to be well preserved.
But
like our wine. Although I quit drinking recently, so what's going to happen to me now, Cindy? Should I start drinking again?
I don't know. You can just wash your face and I don't know what to tell you.
I don't think Drew's going to preserve me if I go first. He's definitely going to just do something fast.
Well, and I think too, in the West, we're not really that prepared for death. I mean, I've been in countries where people are far more prepared for death. It's not a scary thing to see a dead body, right? So that I'm looking at it, like, why do people think that's so taboo, right? In Indonesia and with the Toraja people, it's absolutely not.
Yeah.
And so the lines between, the living and the dead are a little bit more blurry than they are here.
Yeah, they really love their ancestors. So it's heartwarming to see that they put that much effort into it and preserve their loved ones in the afterlife. It's interesting. It's really interesting. So we wanted, since you've done like a lot of these television shows where you talk to people who have haunted houses and try to get the demons out, and the Holzer Files and all these great shows that you've been on, which I watched pretty much all of them during the pandemic. We were going to bring somebody on who has a question about her house. Hi, I can't remember her name.
Susan.
Jacqueline.
Don't look at me.
I'm sorry.
I don't know who she is.
Jacqueline, this is medium Cindy Kaza. She is an expert in this stuff. So we thought we'd just, have you have a little chat with her and see if she can come up with anything that would be helpful to you.
Sure. Yeah, it's Jocelyn.
Hello.
Oh,
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn.
Hi, Jocelyn.
I beg your
Jocelyn.
pardon. I got to pull up my paperwork.
It's nice to meet you.
It's really nice to meet you too. So where do we begin?
Well, do you want me to just kind of tap into what I'm seeing, and then you can ask some questions? And basically, like, I'll just kind of, I'll tell you what I'm seeing. You can validate with a yes or no. If something's an I don't know, say I don't know. That's fine too. Part of my job doing paranormal investigations is to help you kind of figure out what's going on and why it's happening. And sometimes that involves doing some research after the fact, right? So
Right.
where I'll start. But so when I go into your house, because I know that this is happening at home, right? I keep wanting to say that there would, when you can walk into certain areas and you feel like static electricity, those things I feel like happen. So there's a hall. Do you have a hallway? There should be a hall in the house, and when I'm walking in the hallway feeling like, oh, it feels really weird in this spot, or something shifts in this spot, and I'm room 2 where I feel like there should be, I don't know what so do you understand a connection to like having these spots in the house where you walk by and it feels different?
Yes, absolutely. 1000%.
And also the hallway feels significant. So there has to have been a situation where you were in the hallway or you felt something right in the hallway, like walking by you or something going on. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And then if I go into the hallway and I think I want to take is there a bathroom off to the right of the hall? I don't know. I'm walking down and I want to go right.
It depends on which way you go, but yes.
Oh, okay, obviously. Yeah, because you could be going, but it's like I want to be like kitchen. I'm like kitchen or something, and then hallway, and then I go to the right, and there's a bathroom. So does that make sense?
Yes, close. Yes. Very, very,
All right.
very close. Yeah.
All right. So I keep sensing in a couple of not just one. They're not bad. I want to say that. I don't feel like you have anything malicious in your house. I keep saying who feels like he would have died when he was in his 50s. Say he's like 52 or 53 years old at the time of his passing. I see him having a massive heart attack or some issue with his heart. And he's in the house almost as a protector, somebody that wants to just say, I'm walking around, I want to make sure everything's okay. Do you understand who that would be?
I know exactly who you're talking about. I have like the hairs on my arms are standing up and chills are like going down my arms. Yeah.
So he is just like a presence. It's just making sure things are okay. It's almost like be a handyman. He wants to make, there's something with water in your, though. I want to say like the water, the faucet turns on, something with the water. Has that happened?
Yeah, that's so funny. I don't know what you want me, if you want me to tell you or elaborate on
Not yet.
anything,
Just,
but yeah.
I'll just
Okay.
Keep going.
But I'll keep going, and then you can tell me after. Because
I'm blown away.
It's
Okay.
like, he's like that. That's me. I'm just making sure things are working. It's very like just kind of playful and just wanting you to know that he's around. Just he's around, okay? But
Okay.
he's not harmful. He's sweet. He loves kids. He loves animals. He loves people. It's like he wants to have a housewarming party for himself. It's such a weird thing to say, but it's like he's just like,
Oh, that's funny.
but he's fine, okay? And then the other spirit that I see in the house is the spirit of a child. So I feel like there is a younger boy that's in the house, and he looks like he's around 10. That's like between 10 and 12. Like I can't see. Somewhere there is a younger boy, the spirit of a younger boy, and sorry, where is he from? Because he's not from that house. Like, I feel like he came from somewhere in the area, like down the street or somewhere around the house. But for some reason, he likes to play in your yard or play on your steps or be around your house. He's really sweet. He's like, I just want to be, he wants to say hi to his mom. It's like, I do know a little boy that would have died around that age in the area. Have you heard anything like that?
No, but I mean, it's not unusual, from where I'm at. I mean, just the connection is there, so.
Okay, because the feeling to me is that there's some sort of a traffic accident that would have taken his life. So I feel like it's involving a car, either hit by a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not, yeah. I mean, I don't know specifics, but definitely there could be some sort of like connection, like an adjacent connection that would make sense. Yeah.
Okay. And the thing about him too is, because I have to, I'm just going to be honest with what I'm sensing, is that it's like he knows that you're connected somehow to his family or it's like, and the name, do you know anybody called Eric? Even in the living?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to. This is like a research moment, probably. Like it's gonna come to me later.
No, that's what I'm saying. Some of the things you have to research, but somebody called Eric that's in the living, right? I feel like we'll somehow understand who this little boy is. It's weird how it's kind of looping in. And you're a psychic medium as well. That's the thing. You're actually super intuitive. It's like when I see this little child here, he's actually showing me, well, she can see me. That's why I'm with her. It's totally different, obviously, than the man's there. But it's like he wouldn't be around if he didn't think you could get the message to the family somehow.
Interesting. Okay. I'm writing that down.
You got to find Eric.
I gotta find
but
Eric.
You should know an Eric who's in the living. That should be true, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to figure out which Eric.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah.
There is an Eric. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad there's an error.
No, there is, because I know that part's true, because then I'm seeing a school bus. There's something to do with the school system. There's something to do with being connected into the school system, at either like working or being around a lot of kids. Like, I can't change what I'm seeing.
Interesting.
So yeah.
Okay.
Now, okay, so write that down. And then I'm just going to go back into your house for a second to just do a quick... this guy, again, back to the first guy that was there, make sure you get the electricity looked at, because it's not just spirit stuff that's going off. There's other stuff happening too. There's some wiring stuff that needs to be looked at. And when light bulbs keep going out, not always the spirit world, it could just literally, it's an electrical thing. So he's like saying, get all of the things looked at. But he's super supportive, and there's so much love.
The handyman.
He's really nice. He's
I
like
had one of those
nice
in the pool
guy.
house too. They hang out sometimes. I don't know why. Remember that, Cindy?
I was like, oh wait, Susan, do you? Oh no, actually, now am I reading your family? Because that happens. They're really.
Yeah,
they just
we had
push their
water.
way in.
We had water and a handyman. Remember that? Anyways, I think my house. I think the pool house is still haunted. But can Colby ask a question?
Yeah.
Is it Jocelyn or Jaslyn?
Jocelyn, yeah.
Jocelyn, honey. I'm just curious, can you connect to an untimely death of a male, like something more suspicious, or this would have been a murder, something where they're a victim? Is that something that you can connect to for someone either who had been in that house before, or someone in the community that you know of by chance?
Yes.
Because I feel like this male, to me, feels like I'm just going to give it to you as I kind of got it, if that's okay with you, honey.
Yes.
I feel like he was a victim. I feel like there was a murder or something's happening to him. And there's something where he feels like he is also around the house. And there's also a connection to a mirror, which sounds so weird. I don't know if you see light or dark in a mirror, or a mirror broke, or there's something around a mirror. And the weird thing is, I don't know if your house has tile or wood, but it's almost like there's a weird noise going through one of the board that you can't seem to fix. Like, maybe your husband keeps trying to fix it and we can't. And so I feel like this male just is around. Again, there's no ill will or ill intent. It's just almost like maybe he still wants to patrol the neighborhood and be a part of it, because I feel like he felt very connected to it. So would you understand that or resonate with that, honey?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay. Because he says he's okay, so don't worry. But there's something around a mirror. I'm telling you, if you guys are about to hang a mirror, move a mirror, do something, I want you to really anchor it in. This mirror is going to break. So, and it doesn't mean bad luck. I just feel like it's, maybe Cindy is like, the handyman, right? Like when we come back to the handyman, maybe right? Like just make sure we're securing it. That's all.
That makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. So that was it.
That's so
Thank
crazy.
you.
Yeah.
You too. You shock me. Okay. Well, do you have any more questions, or we have one more person to read, so. But
Well, I was like, let us know. Yeah, go
or
ahead.
maybe tell us a little bit about what
Yeah, tell us about your
if you don't
experience.
mind, if that's okay.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely, yes, I'd love to share. The older man in the 50s that died from the heart attack is definitely my grandfather. He passed away. I never met him. So that's interesting. I've felt a presence before. The water, my main faucet in my kitchen, the faucet is broken. It just doesn't always turn off. It's just constantly dripping unless you make sure it's off. And there is a light in my kitchen that flickers on and off all the time. That's really irritating. There has been some issues with mirrors in terms of like someone else in my house. That's why I was wondering if maybe it could be like a portal, or like things have been seen, through mirrors, not necessarily me, but someone else in my house. And yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. And
Well,
then
what about
the man with the victim that was a family member that has passed away, and he was a handyman. Like, he fixed stuff too. Yeah. So his father is construction and had his own construction company. Worked for his father, and he passed away rather suddenly. And it was at first considered a murder, and then it was written off as if it was not a murder. It was a suicide, and there was
So,
no.
do you think it's a murder?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the psychics usually.
I mean, I wrote down the word murder, but
he's okay, right?
oh yeah, he's great. But he's definitely making sure the mirror is anchored in. Like, I'm just so
Okay, I'm gonna check all my
He's
mirrors
watching out
for
for
sure.
you.
his handyman
Wow.
work is not finished.
It's crazy. It's so weird how you guys can teleport into people's homes and see what's going on. Like, I don't know, we're gonna have to do once over in my house. But thank you for calling in to calling out. We really appreciate your participation and for being open to this process.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jocelyn.
So we have one more person, Allie, who's calling in to call out. These are people that
Calling in to calling out.
want to call out. So we'll get a start with Colby here. If we can bring Allie in. Hi, Allie. Welcome.
Hi, how are you? Thank
So
you.
thanks for calling in, and I'll let you have a chance with Colby here for a minute, and Cindy can follow up.
Sure.
Hi there, Allie. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. Can I tell you 2 funny things that have happened since I've been kind of listening and being a fly on the wall?
Oh, we got to know.
One, I'm the one with the back tattoo.
You know what? I was going to say that earlier. I was going to say there's probably
Love
a
it.
person on Zoom that might have one. but
Love it.
The back tattoo.
Okay,
And
good.
2, I was working on Facebook while I was listening and literally typing the name Eric.
Oh, look at
Just
that.
now.
Wow.
I was like, while you're saying it's an Eric, I was like, that's me.
Cindy and I are already tag teaming.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it was totally weird. I was like,
crazy.
I literally just typed that name.
Love it. Love it.
So,
I like
anyway.
that mirror behind your head. It looks like a big halo. I'm kind of wondering if it was Eric and there's a mirror, if you should maybe check that mirror behind your head a little bit later. Make sure it's not going to fall off the wall.
I will check it. Check the
Okay?
mirror.
Just in case.
That's right. You never know.
'Cause we're
the
cross-
message carries on.
Yeah, we're cross. This is
yeah.
what happens when you have a lot of people waiting or in a room or whatever. Like my people come along. Usually my people are doing it, but they've been very quiet lately. So I'm really glad. Stay up there. Okay. Anyways, here we go.
So, Allie, if you don't mind, would you understand, like, I feel like there's been some significant challenges, especially in the last year or two with you. Like, I feel like there's been sort of like really digging deep and kind of gone, okay, what do I need to do? It's like almost like the inner warrior needs to come out. Like, it's almost like, I feel like you're not afraid to put up a fight. I don't think you're afraid to kind of get a little sassy when you need to, but it's not necessarily your nature, right? I think just moreover, you're like, hey, but I keep feeling like you've been so challenged in the last year or two that it's really kind of this whole other inner strength has started to come out of you. Do you understand that?
Yes. I mean, the need for the inner strength, definitely.
Okay. And then
yeah,
I'm curious. I don't normally. I am just curious, and I don't know if I'm connecting to you or maybe a family member. Has there been some health issues connected to you, or revelations of health that we needed to address? Would you understand that?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, because I keep feeling like I also feel like I don't know if you. I want to be careful. This isn't a prediction. Maybe I feel like I'm in the past. We may have even had a hospitalization or something where almost like I don't want to say you're flatlined, but either you're this side of the veil or that, like you're dancing. And it's double dutch. You ever play double dutch? You know what I'm talking about? Double
I know what
dutch.
you're talking about, where you're like,
Yeah. So I almost feel like there's been a little bit of like, and then it's like, now I feel like you're solid. Now I feel like you're in. Now I feel like, okay, your health is getting stronger. You are getting stronger. But it definitely feels like maybe for you, it was quite a, almost a mental decision as well as to what you needed to do to choose to thrive, survive, that sort of thing. Would you resonate with that? Okay. So, now I feel like your journey or your story is becoming a big part of your purpose. So it feels like your next steps now are like, okay, I kicked ass and this is how I did it. It feels like that becomes a big part of the next steps or the next journey. But I also want to say, like, I don't know, it just feels like you're always that strength for others. I think either people lean on you, you're always that kind of strong face, that strong vibe. But I keep feeling like, make sure you have your people to lean on yourself. I think it's really important for you. Like, who do I get to lean on without them wanting to kind of suck some energy out of me? Because I think there's just times where you just don't have it. And you need that unconditional support and that unconditional love by you. Okay? You understand that?
Yep.
Okay. And I also see, what's interesting too? I feel like there's been a relationship, not necessarily romantic. I think maybe just a friend or a family. Maybe that relationship has actually gotten more strained in the last year, which is interesting. You would almost think everybody's flocking in, but I feel like this person's been exposed a little bit for not being there for you. Would you understand that?
100%.
Sorry, I have a little bit of a cough. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Sorry, podcasters. I know that's terrible. It's like so. Sorry. But what I'm getting is, like, I know that's such a difficult cord cutting for you. You're always willing to give everyone, every like second, third, fourth, fifth chance. But I feel like for you, it's just honoring, like, I think there's a little bit of poison in the well. There's a little bit of like this person. I think you really don't let them fool you. I think you were able to really see them, and now they're trying to kind of cover their tracks or cover it up. I want you to trust what you saw. I think that's really, really important around it.
Okay.
And it's weird too. Like, we talk about energetic daggers in the back. Clearly, like an energetic dagger from this person.
Okay.
So don't be afraid to just pull that out, cut that cord, and say, you know what? This, like, no, you don't get to do this to me.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I feel like you're writing a book, so I'm just going to say that. Ellie, have you been writing? Have you started? Are we on that yet?
I am a writer. I'm a screenwriter. So I've never written a book, and I always wanted to. So.
Well, guess what? I think this is your time to shine, Mama. So,
Right.
Yeah, this is it. This is your story to tell.
Great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so Cindy, let's get a tag team going here. Okay, so Cindy, since you called out Eric earlier, and
I know it's weird. I was like, hey, maybe the little boy spirit was for your Eric. What do I know?
It's
like,
so-
I don't know. I want to know if
so weird.
I'd love to know who's around. If there's anybody around me.
Yeah.
And if
Well,
you
I
can
was trying
see-
to.
Yeah.
I was trying to not like get too into like I was when somebody else is reading, I'm like la la la. I try not to hear it so I can go
that's a good
in fresh. But I kept feeling this woman that is standing right around you that's coming through like mom and I keep feeling. So do you have mom on the other side or grandma on mom's side, because it can feel right. And then I kept going back to the year of 2008. I'm trying to feel into like somebody would have passed around 2008, or there's a connection 2008, 2009, or what's going on in that time. Do you know why I would be referencing that? 2008 just keeps coming in. No, I don't think this person died. I'm sorry. So, didn't die in 2008, but there's something about 2008 being like a pivotal year of somebody getting sick or somebody everything changes.
Yeah. There was some stuff that, I mean, yeah, I can certainly, if I look to 2008, I can see.
Okay,
what,
so
yeah, there's some stuff that
okay. Because I just keep hearing June 2008, and then I want to be around like mom or mom's side of the family. That is all around me. And then I kept seeing a connection. I feel like you have two women around you, to be honest with you. It's not just one. There are two that are standing right next to one another. So it's like they're both stepping in to be like, we got you, women power. You know, you have very strong women in your family. And I feel that they're both right next to you. Do you know anybody who, Susan, I hope this isn't your family also
Probably
coming
is.
in. Do you know who Helen is? Anybody called Helen or Ellen?
I don't have a Helen.
It's Drew's mother.
It's I'm like, oh God, because it's like all the moms, all that motherly energy is coming in, and then I just heard Helen, right? So,
you do know a Helen. Oh, good.
I don't.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't. That's the thing.
Well, Drew's mom is Helene. Remember? Do you remember?
Okay.
But her.
Okay, so.
Yeah, she's a
Well, but I'm not like I'm. The L sound is very big for me. So I don't know whether it's
could be. Yeah, it might not be her.
Even though I'm like you're saying Helen and Ellen, I'm also hearing the L people that I'm thinking.
Okay, good. Oh, good. Stick with her.
So I don't know.
Okay. Actually, I do Helen, and I think her family's here. I think it's just a pile of people coming.
Because Drew's here.
Okay. But I have to talk about school and education as being something that I want to go to your grandmother, actually. Actually, I want to go to her first, because what she's showing me is that she wasn't able to do all the things that she would have wanted to, like especially in education. It just wasn't that time for her, not this lifetime. Do you understand that? I don't feel like she came from a lot of money. I don't feel like she had that kind of support system around her. I feel like she had to be a mom quite young, and she had to learn how to raise a family quite young, and she had to navigate all of these things, and it was a hardship. Like, she did not have an easy life. That's the sense that I'm getting from her. But I know that she would have been a woman who she would have tried to really stay true to her convictions. So I know that she has very strong moral compass. I feel like that's instilled in her. I wonder if it's that she was raised in a religious family. Do you understand that she would have been raised, is it Catholic? Where am I going with the religion? Is that around your grandmother?
My mom's mom?
Yeah, on your mom. Or would it be dad's mom? Do you know where that comes in with the religion?
My dad's side is definitely a little more conservative and religious than my mom's mom. But
okay. So do you know the woman? So was everything else right except for that one piece? Like wouldn't have been able to? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if everything's right but that one piece, I'll put it aside. So just let me see. But there's something that she's showing me about being in a marriage that was like not easy for her, because I keep feeling like this struggle of like, I want to be able to go out and do other things, but I don't have that opportunity, or I can't quite express myself the way that I want to. I have to kind of hold it in, right? And that she is so proud of who you are, because you express yourself through words, but you're out there in a much bigger way. And she wasn't always able to use her voice the way that she would have liked to. That's the sense that I get. But she's so, and there's cancer in that family too. You got a bunch of people on the other side, but the cancer piece comes in, so that should make sense as well. Is that true?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And is there anything that doesn't make sense that I've been saying?
No. In fact, what you just said, like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. Because I want to like, why am I in a boxing ring? I feel like I'm in like Brooklyn in like the 60s or 70s. I'm in a boxing ring. I don't know why. It's just this image that I'm seeing, but it's like fight you like she had to fight for everything. She had to fight for what she wanted, but she also couldn't fight too hard because that would get her into trouble, right? So she just shows up as one of your big protectors, right? And she's one of your guides. And then there's a baby that's with her on the other side. So I know that somebody would have lost a baby that she is holding. So I feel like either a stillborn or very young baby. Do you know who that would be?
Mm-mm.
Then maybe it's her and you don't know, but there she's holding a baby. It's a daughter. I see a little girl with her.
Yeah, that I don't know who that is. But
And the name Rose just came in too. There's like that name of Rose. Susan, I'm not with you.
No, I don't have Rose, but well, there was a Rose on
Okay.
Helene's side, and yeah, it could be. You could be tapping into my people because they like to cock block everything at the end of a show. That's how
It's
they
like
work.
it's like we go in there and then I'm like, who's Helen? Oh wait, who's Rose? And they're all connected to you.
I know, but I like to wait because I don't want to. You know, Cindy is not missing out on the ability to read you. She's just talking to my people.
Well, no, it's this.
But I like to make sure that we don't have the same names first before I like to hold back because I've done this so many times and I just sometimes I hold back and it's like, oh yeah, I have one of those and I'm like, "Ah, thank goodness. But you tapped into Helene as Drew's mother. She's been on our show many times. My mom had a stillborn baby, but you know and then Rose, I think it was related to Helene. So I think that's the connection there. So yeah, you're getting it. You're coming in.
Your mom had a stillborn, so that's what it is like that all coming in. That's with you, and then we're with you with your family.
Yeah.
And then you know, I have to say that your mom is your mom also on the other side? I just keep hearing mom. Okay, so she's still here, but this woman that's here feels like a mother. Like that's exactly how she kind of comes in with that energy. So I'm not going to change it, you know. But I keep wanting to say that. Who's saying have a shot of whiskey, have a drink for me? I love beer, I love whiskey. There's this guy that just steps in right next to her who's definitely an alcoholic that just comes in. He's smoking a cigarette, he's drinking a beer, he's sitting at the bar.
That's got to be my family.
Oh,
Yeah,
God
that's
damn it, Susan, tell your
definitely
family
God
get out of
damn
here.
it. Okay, so yeah. So
Who's Charles? Wait, who's Charles? Do you have the Charles too?
no, Charles
Susan.
is no. There's no Charles over
sure?
here. No, but I'm kind
fine.
of getting my mom was a smoker, a lot of drinking, and I can see my mom making a joke because I quit drinking. So they're like, have a whiskey. Come on, have some. Go ahead. They're very codependent to this, I'm sure, in the afterlife even. So, thanks, Mom.
No, I swear to God, there's a guy called Charles here. He's like,
Charles.
my name is Charles. I'm here. I hear Uncle Charles, Uncle Charlie, Uncle
Oh,
Chuck. I'm here.
Charlie. Oh, God. Yeah, there's a Charles. He would be an asshole and do something like that. Yeah. He
I'm not
was
losing my mind. 'Cause
He
I'm
was
like,
my cousin's. He was my cousin's husband who committed suicide in my uncle's house. Yeah, he wasn't a great guy, but oh yeah, that totally makes sense. So they're fucking with me. Thank you, Cindy, for bringing my crazy
there's
family in.
Too, I'm trying to do a reading. Her family just keeps butting in. Actually, but there's
makes
one
sense.
thing. There's one thing I have to say because he's here. He's being a little bit mischievous. Your family's interrupting me, right? That's actually happening. And everything happens for a reason because, right, Charlie, I know you gave us that piece where he took his own life, right?
Yes.
That piece you gave me. But here's the thing. It's like people, obviously, that are in that situation, they struggle with depression. They struggle with addiction. And so I know that there has to be a similarity. I'm sorry, what's your name, love, again? That I'm reading. Allie. Okay, so I feel like there has to be an acknowledgement of those things also being in your lineage as well. Like there has to be some addiction, some depression, some issues with that, right? And that I know that it runs in the family, right? And that I know that there have been periods of time where there could have been attempts of I don't want to be here anymore or thinking about it. And what he is showing me is that like life is life is short, have fun. Yes, depression is real and it's serious. And he now sees that that wasn't the way to go. So he's making a statement, right, for people in the living that have struggled in your lineage with depression, anxiety, and not wanting to be here anymore.
An addiction.
An addiction.
You can die from it. It's how people die from addiction. So, and also from depression. He was really depressed, but he was not a great guy. But anyway, but I'm glad you're like Charles. I'm like, I don't know. Oh yeah, I tried to forget him. So, but thank you. You know what? It makes me have more courage to not die like that. You know, I want to live. I don't want to die of alcoholism or any kind of addiction. So, right? It's like, it's Cindy. Yeah. So everybody, you know, it does run in my family. So that's something that I've been dealing with a lot lately. So thank you, Cindy. I appreciate it. It gives me courage. So.
And Allie, go do. Oh gosh, I shouldn't say this. Maybe I shouldn't. Have you thought about doing ayahuasca before or anything like that, Allie? Or like, I just saw you doing ayahuasca in the jungle or something, and you're like, I don't do drugs, kids. And Allie, go do ayahuasca. And
No, I've been considering it for a while now.
Oh,
so
interesting.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of it's just crossed my path a lot over the stuff that I've been going through over the last couple of years, which that was all right on. So.
Oh, good.
The cancer piece.
Yes.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it's helping you, and you know.
Can I say something really quick?
Colby wants to say something too while we get rid of my ancestors.
Almost done. I know. Allie, I just keep seeing a passage like writing. Is one of your tattoos writing? Do you have writing as a passage?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I can't see it in the frame, but so you have okay.
Here. Yeah, right here. I don't know where it's there. I can't. God.
Okay. Yeah.
I have a little passage there.
And then I keep hearing. I just want to I think this is from the other side, but Phoenix rising. So it's almost like knowing that you are rising from the ashes. Okay, so to kind of take that and to know that with yourself. And then the other thing I want to just say, I know Cindy mentioned a male. Would you understand a younger male that would be in the spirit world for you, Allie, that you would be able to connect to as maybe a friend or a little bit of because I feel like he makes me feel like he's younger when he passes. I think he was really big into music. Maybe music was important, or, you know, he definitely sends you music to let you know, like you'll hear music or know and sense music. And I feel like his passing feels to be a little bit quicker or unexpected. Anyhow, the point is, I just feel like he keeps saying, I'm by your side. So it's almost like maybe you've been feeling him more lately or been thinking about him. But I kind of just want to validate that is him around you.
Okay. I don't know exactly who that, I have some ideas who that might be. I have a friend that just passed.
Yeah. Would he have had darker hair? I'm just curious. Because he shows me younger, darker hair. He gives me a sense. It's so strange that he's passed because he seems so full of life, you know, energy, like bouncing off the walls, kind of always bringing other people up. So I just feel like that is him that we're connecting to, but I also just feel like he's saying, hey, I don't want you to worry about me. I am by your side. So that's it. Just all I wanted
That's
to
sweet.
add. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah. A lot of this makes a lot of sense for me. I don't know if you want me to talk about anything, or I don't know what.
Do you want to
Let her
just give
share,
us a
a little
synopsis
bit.
of what you just learned?
Well, I've had stage 4 cancer since 2018. So, and I'm kind of like, it hasn't gone away, but it's definitely like, it's sort of stable / shrinking. It's supposed to be chronic. I'm supposed to have it kind of forever, unless there's some sort of medical miracle. But I definitely, I wrote down to ask, I was like, I'm struggling with self-worth, boundaries, speaking up for myself. But in my other life, I'm a public speaker and I want to do more of that. So like you talking about like being strength for others. And then also this idea that I would be writing a book. And this idea that like, I mean, like the hospitalizations, of course, and that like my health is getting solid. That, I mean, it makes sense to me, but it also is like, you know, I don't know. The warrior thing, all of that, like that completely resonates with all of my cancer stuff. I definitely I struggle with feeling like either that I can ask for the support I need or that I have the support I need, that people just sort of willingly offer it. I feel like that was, you said, who do I lean on without them wanting to suck the energy from me? That you were like, you need unconditional love and support, and you don't always feel like you're getting exactly what you need. And that is definitely something I struggle with. And I mean, like, I put my grandma next to me for this because I was like, I want to know if grandma's around. So this is Lillian, which I
Lily,
fairly
that's so
close to
funny.
Helen and Ellen. So I was like, when you were like Helen, Ellen, something, I was like, no, it's Lillian. So that's my Lillian.
I almost said at the end, I want to hand you a lily, and I didn't say it. Crap.
That's my grandma, my mom's mom, who is a cancer survivor. But like, she has we have this whole joke because she didn't go to college. And she, all of a sudden, like towards the end of her life, she started joking around, or not joking around. She started telling people, oh, I had 2 years of junior college. And you're like, no, you did. Like, no, you didn't. But she would tell everybody that she did because she had wanted that. So when you were like, she wanted more education, and this idea of like, you said the boxing ring, but I just see that as a box. Like, she's like telling me, you've been living your life in a box and it's okay to not, is what I feel like. When you talked about the square box, and you said she wanted to express the things that she couldn't express, and she wanted to kind of go outside of what, like, all of that resonated for me very much. So yeah. I don't know if the dark-haired guy is TJ, but if it is, then I'm happy to hear him. So,
There we go.
That was amazing.
Thank you so much. I got all like choked up a couple of times.
My idiot family members are telling you got to have some whiskey and a cigar. So, yeah. So, we're really thankful that you called in, and thank you for opening up your life to this process. And we appreciate it. We wish only the best for you, and thank you very much. So, Dr. Pinsky is back in the hizzy.
Mm-hmm.
He came back in. You missed the whole party.
I was dismissed by Colby.
What?
So,
Who?
What?
you didn't need me. You guys did not need me. You did not need me.
No,
I had to go
we
get
had
your
a good
husband
time.
and get him situated.
No, we had a good time. We
Yeah.
we found a ghost in somebody's house, and we also talked about the Indonesian people,
The mummies.
saving their family members
Wild.
until they can bury
Wild,
them,
right?
dusting them off and propping
We
them up.
cannot judge. Judge not, lest ye be judged.
Giving them a glass of wine. I decided I needed a glass of wine if I'm dead, and I need a drink. So is that okay?
Like I'd have to put a glass of wine in your dead ass body.
Yeah, you have
your
to like
hand.
get it. Oh, yeah. See, he wouldn't do it. But anyways,
I wouldn't mummify you and live with you. I'm sorry. I don't judge
I
anybody
told
else,
you
but I would
he's
not do
gonna
that.
burn my ass, and that's it.
He's going to spoon you. What are you talking about?
Oh, could get weird.
Oh, that's
But-
true. No, but we were going along, and cousin Charlie popped in and
That's what you meant.
said, "Have a drink, have a cigarette."
Oh.
They were all partying over there. Have
my.
a whiskey. Yeah, thanks, Charlie. You're not helping.
As was his way in the real world.
Yeah, that's what
So.
But that was interesting. I think your mom was here too. You missed that, Helene.
Damn.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you want to say hi to mom? Can you say hi to mom?
No, it's okay. We got her dog. That's enough.
Okay. Well, yeah, she's still alive, but I just want to thank you for doing this today, Drew. I really appreciate
Pleasure. It was great. I mean, Nikki was I knew Nikki would be great for this, and I knew you and Cindy would be perfect for her, and it made me think of things that we need to do to help her do these things she wants to do.
Sure.
So I'm looking forward to that.
And I love your shirt from XXXY that you got today from Jennifer Say.
Yeah. I didn't know it was coming back on, but it's hot outside.
No, I know. It's okay. So also I want to mention that a little bit about what's coming up for Colby. And Cindy, I want to say goodbye to Cindy. She's in there somewhere. Are you over there, Cindy?
I see her. She's in there.
Maybe we'll
there
say goodbye to Cindy
No,
first.
there's Cindy.
Yeah, let me see Cindy's creds here, Reese. She has a great
Before you
list.
read those, I want to say for the Ask Dr. Drew show that Susan produces, Dave Smith coming in on Tuesday.
Tuesday, we have
Sage Steele on Wednesday. I forgot to promote that. So we have two huge guests coming in Tuesday and Wednesday, 3 o'clock next week.
They're not better than my guests. Or
they're not better than your guests,
psychics.
but they are. Dave Smith, of course, is the guy that took on Chris Cuomo in the debate that was interesting. And he's also a comedian. He works for Legion of Skanks. Sage Steele was the sports announcer that was dismissed for a little, I think it was vaccine hesitancy or something. She has a very popular podcast now. So check us out, 3 o'clock, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. We'll be from New York.
Yes, we will.
And then Cindy.
So Cindy Kaza, medium Cindy Kaza, you can find her all over the place. She's has some great things coming up. Let's see. Let's start with her Indonesia. Look at this.
Wow.
You don't have to name all
yeah,
of
but
them.
I want to mention this because she does this retreat, Journey Nova, 8th to 19th, with an extension to Varanasi Nova. Is that how you say Varanasi Nova?
India, November.
Yes, and 19th to 22nd with Lauren Rainbow. July 19th, she's in the United States in the Ritter's Winery, Pennsylvania, it's just the Ritter's Winery.
July 19th.
From 8 to 9:30. July 19th, she's in Pittsburgh at the...
No, that's July 25th.
July 25th. Oh, sorry, honey. It's sideways. How do you read that thing sideways,
It's
Drew?
not easy.
You want me to say
Yeah,
it?
you got to straighten it out. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, July 25th, I'm doing the Pittsburgh Improv. So don't be confused if you're seeing me at a comedy club. I do mediumship at comedy clubs. I'm not a comedian. So I'm doing that. And then people are like, wait, she's not funny. She's talking to dead people. What the hell is happening? So then I'm doing a lot of international travel. I have India in November. I have Egypt in February. I have Indonesia next year in May. So if you want to go on an adventure and meet some cool people and see some different cultures, check it out. You can come with me. CindyKaza.com is my website, or mediumcindykaza.com. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, or X,
Yeah, good job.
And Facebook. Thank you.
Yeah, and go to CindyKaza.com and you can get all the dates, in writing if you really have an interest to go, because she is fun to watch. Also, Colby.
Yay.
My friend.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm going to let you do it since I can't get him to pull up your bio.
Oh, yeah.
Upcoming gigs.
Just the most important things. I'm really excited to be in Sacramento, actually returning back to Sacramento August 10th for a couple workshops and a demonstration.
Anybody's in Sacramento?
Calling out my North Cali friends out there. Very excited about that. But if you're in the LA area on October 4th, I will be at the Main Theater. That's in Santa Clarita for an evening of psychic fun. It's psychic and mediumship. It's a Halloween experience. So, those were probably two of the main things. But of course, you can just head on over to colbyrebel.com, look at the upcoming events, and just kind of see what suits you, whether it's an online event or an in-person event.
Busy girls. It's important. It's important that we share the spirit world with the world.
I just saw a bunch of Bob Newhart action.
Yes.
He just died.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, he did.
Can we talk to him?
Susan like, hey, can you give me a line in here?
Club Pop.
And Drew, where can we find you?
I think the best thing is drdrew.com for all the podcasts, and drdrew.tv. Ask Dr. Drew on Rumble. Subscribe there, please. We like having our...
We're almost at 300,000 on
awesome.
Rumble.
It'd be very helpful if you could subscribe there, because our whole endeavor is about freedom and about freedom of speech and talking to interesting people, particularly people that have been canceled. And so Rumble has been a great partner in all that. So I want to support Rumble.
And also, we want you to support our sponsors, because that's what keeps us doing this. Find out more about the brands that make this show possible and get special discounts on Dr. Drew's favorite products.
Literally my favorite.
drdrew.com.
Literally, the stuff we have, we're so lucky. That's all stuff I take. I make them take.
Fatty 15. The future of essential fatty acids is here. Strengthen your cells against age-related breakdown with Fatty 15. Get 15% off.
Fatty 15 is the first nutritional deficiency discovered in 75 years. We were all deficient in what's called C15 because of our dietary supply of low fat. We've ended up deficient in something that protects us against certain neurological and liver illnesses.
Which I'm using right now.
You're using it. I'm using it
because of my drinking problem.
No, it's not just that. Not just that. It's because everybody something like one or
all of us girls in here could use a little Fatty 15. It also helps with Alzheimer's.
That data is about to come out. We can't say that yet, but I'm confident that
I don't have liver problems.
It's a psychic prediction she's having, Drew.
Yes. Also, you can. It's drdrew.com/fatty15. Any of our products like this, you can scroll. We're not supposed to talk about this one, even though it's a good one. The Wellness Company, which I want to tell everybody about the next crisis. Last week, a friend of mine was taking care of her husband who had COVID-19, which it is back. It's not as treacherous, but in this kit,
it's actually there's
the COVID emergency kit.
With Dr. Freeman, I compared notes with him, what he's seeing down in New Orleans, and we're both seeing it's a pretty nasty outbreak with a lot of fever and prostration. So if you're older, you want to get some treatment going right away. Yeah,
but she didn't want to get it, and in this box there is ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine, and I'm going to get banned on YouTube, but I don't give a crap. Because I don't care.
That's you and your doctor need to talk about that.
This is a COVID emergency kit. She couldn't get her hands on any ivermectin. She was like, I can't get it. It's not available. My doctor said I should get it.
Well, and you needed some Cipro just yesterday. What did I say?
These are great kits. They've got a lot of good antibiotics in them. It's one of our main sponsors. And I'm telling you, they have all different kits. So you call up, get telehealth, and then they will send you your ivermectin. Well, there's so a bunch have it on hand just in case you want to.
I don't emphasize that. It's just that it's a readiness kit.
A little azithromycin, my favorite.
We want the control of healthcare in the hands of patients, and this is a big step in forward.
The H word that I'm not supposed to say on YouTube. And then, there's a nebulizer. These kits are all put up according to what you need. And then last but not least.
By the way, Dr. Kelly Victory, ER doc, was instrumental in our emergency kits. She's got another one coming. It's going to be amazing.
We're going to have one for STDs and stuff like that. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's going to be at the store.
There's going to be one for women if you, want a morning after pill at your bedside.
We're going to have that in the store in individual purchases.
So. For that, urinary infection, and then a little bit for the yeast infection, that kind of stuff. It's all in the kits. And they're cute kits. You can put makeup in there too. Also, mypillow.com/Dr. Drew. We get creds if you go over there and you buy your pillows and your towels and your blankets and all that stuff and your pillow topper, your bed toppers, and just use the code Drew for 50% off. You get a huge discount. So thank you, sponsors. Thank you, Drew. Thank you, Colby.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay and Robin, for your great casting. We had good guests today, and also Reese, great teleprompting today. And thank you, Kaleb Nation.
Mahalo.
See you next week.